I have a problem. It's not the cicadas. They are out there, and if you hear them, don't mind them. They are cicada-ing. They're doing their thing. But my problem is I cannot say no to free movies. And when I started this channel and I started doing movie related content, I talked about how I was going to pull the reins back on buying physical media because the discs are getting so expensive. They're getting way too collectible. All these sort of premier collector's editions and stuff. They just announced a mariachi trilogy. Arrow Video just announced that. Once again, I'm in front of my movie wall. If you saw the last video, I put these shelves up for the collectible popcorn tins. I don't think I'll be getting any more, although Ryan Reynolds just released a video of the Wolverine and Deadpool popcorn tin, which I'm assuming will be highly collectible. It looks very inappropriate. But if I'm able to snag it, I will definitely add a third shelf. And then over here, I added this certificate, my first movie certificate for my daughter. Last year, before she was even 2, barely 2, we went and saw Back to the Future for Father's Day. And that was definitely a core memory for me. I don't know about her, but she enjoyed the overall experience. I think the slushie helped as well. But that was her first movie, was Back to the Future. And that was very meaningful to me. So I put a little certificate up there with a photo of us. So my library was having this big summer sale, and they were getting rid of a lot of books, children's books, hardcover books, even some graphic novels. And then they had a media section. Apparently they had a bunch of movies on tape. They had like hundreds of movies on these tables. And this was at the start of the sale. I think it was like a week-long thing. And I wish I was there at the beginning. I wish I knew about it, because apparently there were people just like with bags, and they're just like dumping them in their bag. And I would have been one of those people. So I came in at the end because I didn't know what was happening. And they were just giving these away. There was no price. For some of the books and stuff, they were charging from somewhere between like 50 cents to $1. And for the movies, for the CDs and the movies, the DVDs and the Blu-rays, they were just free to take. And I could not say no. I mean, it's a nice problem to have, but like, again, like, where am I going to put these? So I'm going to show you what I got, talk about them a little bit, and then, yeah, that'll be the end of this video. So I did get a CD, and it's the soundtrack to The Incredibles, the very first Incredibles movie, composed by Michael Giacchino, who's become one of my favorite composers. Movie related, it's a movie soundtrack. First movie I'm going to pull up here, this is called The Skeleton Twins. This was a winner at Sundance for Best Screenplay, and it's got Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig. They play brother and sister. I saw it once, so it'd be nice to revisit this. I think there's commentary by them too, so that's cool. The next movie is Mama. This is directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed the It movies, as well as The Flash. He did what he could with that. This is produced by Guillermo del Toro and stars Jessica Chastain. And I remember being very scared by this. I don't remember what it's about, though, so I'll have to give this a rewatch. The next one is Blockers. This is a very funny movie produced by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. It stars Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz from Ugly Betty, I believe, and John Cena. I remember watching this and thinking it was okay, but then upon a second viewing, I found it to be funnier than the first viewing. And I think that's because I've grown to really like John Cena as a comedic performer. This is about a bunch of girls who are trying to lose their virginity on prom night, and the parents do everything they can to stop them. Now, some of these other movies were actually still in their packaging, so they didn't have any barcodes on them. which leads me to believe that they were donated to the library. And so I have a couple here. The first one is Frost Nixon. This is a very political, is this a Ron Howard movie? It is a Ron Howard film. But yeah, this was one of the Best Picture nominees. This was one of the movies we watched when Nicole and I started doing the Best Picture Showcase. I think this was the Slumdog year. This one's called The Hustle. This is sort of like a lady take on Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, starring Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. I think I watched this before. This one is called The Guilt Trip, and it's Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand. This is written by Dan Fogelman, who's very famous for This Is Us. So this is like a funny sort of road trip mom and son comedy. The Martian, this is unopened as well. Ridley Scott, all-star cast. For some reason, it won the Golden Globe for Best Comedy. These categories are terrible. Footloose, unopened. I mean, what can you say about it? It's Footloose. This town just wants to dance. And Kevin Bacon is the only one who can get this town to dance. Footloose. Equilibrium. I always laugh at this quote where it's like, forget the Matrix. This movie will blow you away. I believe this was the movie, or this was the part that convinced Christopher Nolan to cast Christian Bale as Batman. But yeah, this is a crazy movie with gun kata, martial arts with guns. Taye Diggs is in this, and the way he gets killed is insane. So Equilibrium. I need to give this a rewatch. So I love buddy cop movies. This was one that was on the table. This is The Rookie, starring Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen, directed by Clint Eastwood. Is it an 80s movie? What year did this come out? No, 1990. So 1990s buddy cop action movie. This is Running Scared, not to be confused with Running Scared, the buddy cop movie starring Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, which is fabulous, by the way. You should give that a watch. This is Running Scared with the late, great Paul Walker. And I remember them doing really weird camera stuff for some of the shootouts in this. This makes Kill Bill look like Sesame Street. That's a quote from Peter Hammond over at Maxim magazine. Wow. Deepest Bluest, my hand is like a shark's fin. This is Deep Blue Sea. This is the other shark movie that isn't Jaws, but this is directed by Renny Harlin of Die Hard 2 fame, and he actually is doing the Strangers reboot, remake, trilogy, and Chapter 1 just came out, so I've been meaning to go see that with my cousin. But yeah, this is famous for that Sam Jackson death scene. Spoilers, but also LL Cool J plays the chef. He survives, and that was like a big deal. And he had like that Deepest Bluest song. This is crazy because it's got what's her face? Who's on the cover here? Saffron Burrows is on the cover of this movie, and she's not even mentioned in the titles here. They got Tom Jane, LL Cool J, Michael Rappaport, Stellan Skarsgård, and Samuel Jackson. Yet Saffron Burrows is the main actor. That's some BS, yo. This movie, I don't know if it was fun or not. I remember seeing it and just it kind of left my memory. Hercules, starring The Rock, directed by Brett Ratner. Wah, wah. It was free. Maybe I'll watch it again. Flight, starring Denzel Washington and John Goodman, directed by Robert Zemeckis. I believe he got an Oscar nomination for this, for Best Actor. I think it's also like a courtroom thing, courtroom drama. Yeah, I'll have to give this a rewatch. Okay. Crank, Neville Dean and Taylor, those dudes make really wild movies. They made a Ghost Rider sequel that my buddy Justin Stewart loves. And I really wish they got to make a rated R Ghost Rider movie. Because what they did with this movie was absolutely insane. If you've never seen Crank, You should definitely give this a watch. It's some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in a movie. Jason Statham as Chev Chelios, who plays an assassin, and then he gets injected with something. It'll kill him if he doesn't have adrenaline. So that's why they crank it up a notch. They crank the action up. And then the last movie I got, The Holiday. Nora Ephron? Is it Nora? Nope. Nancy Myers. Nancy Myers, Jack Black, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, Cameron Diaz. Hey, let's switch houses. And then Christmas happens. I don't remember if I like this or not, but I like Jack Black and Kate Winslet. And then lastly, I'm going to end on these because Nicole got these for me. They were like $1 at the dollar store, or $1.25. This is The High Note, which I've never heard of. Tracy Ellis Ross to Ice Cube to Dakota Johnson. It's a music movie, so I don't know. This is Pieces of April. I haven't seen it in a long time, but this is a really good Thanksgiving movie. I did that video about talking about holidays. This is a really good one. Those are my pickups for this week. Yeah, I can't say no to free movies, and it's becoming a problem. Let me know if you liked any of these picks, or if you hated all of them, and you're mad that because they're all DVDs, and you're more of a 4K person. I don't know. I like all movies, as you can see. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Matt Damon.